Hey, my name is Gaia Athena and today I'm bringing you a book review of Proud, Stories, Poetry and Art on the theme of pride, compiled by Juno Dawson and by a whole variety of authors. There are also artists in this because every short story or poem is accompanied by some art. I'm not going to read all the names out because that would take way too long and would not be very interesting. So after reading Unbroken, a short story collection about disabled teens, I felt in the mood for another short story collection and I started Proud. This book recently came out, I want to say in March, and it contains short stories as well as some poems and some art, all with the theme of LGBTQ+. I apologize for not being in my conservatory with my my background there and everything, but my mum is working at home today and she is working in the conservatory, and obviously I don't want to disturb her or have her in the frame or anything because she wouldn't want that. So I'm filming in my room today because of that, because it's sunny and she is working there, so it's sunny but cold. Anyway, I quite like this short story collection. I mean, it has poems as well. Here is all the short story poems. So after each piece there is a piece of art. I like that. There were, I think, maybe 3 pieces that I didn't get along with so well. 2 of which I really didn't like and struggled to get through it, and 1 of which I liked okay, but that was it. That last one, the one that I liked okay, has actually to do with a certain trope that is being used in that story, and I just don't like that trope. I don't gel with it, don't understand it. But I don't want to say it just in case it could sort of be a spoiler. So I really liked most of the stories in this though. Stories and poems, but most of them are stories, so I should say pieces rather than stories. I really liked most of them. A couple that I really liked a lot, that I liked a lot. I would have liked to see more Ace era representation, because I feel like there wasn't much representation on the asexual spectrum. I guess I was saying I am demisexual. Now I wasn't expecting to see anything to do with demisexuality in this collection, but I guess some asexual, like something like that would have been nice, or maybe it was in there and I missed it. I mean, totally possible. Yeah, there were a couple of stories here that were just really good. Most of them were really nice, so I was pleasantly surprised again by this. So maybe I've just had bad experiences in the past with short story collections. If you've watched my previous review on Unbroken, which is the review video I did before this one, I'll have told you that a lot of the times, in my experience, short story collections are a mixed bag for me. I really like some stories, really dislike some, and I'm glad to say that there are only a couple stories in this that I wasn't a fan of. The rest was really good, so I'm very happy with that. I also really like this cover. Previously there were a couple of authors in here that I have read stuff of. Most of the authors were new to me. 3 artists that I've read stuff of, namely Alice Oseman and David Levithan and Alex Bertie. Those 3 people I have read books of, and in the case of Alice Oseman I've also seen her art. So, oh, about the art, I really liked that there was an art piece after each piece. Some of the art I wasn't a fan of, other art I really liked. I guess that's kind of personal. The art had always something to do with the story and how the artist interpreted the story that the author wrote. There were a few stories in here that featured characters of color, which I liked, and there was also some anxiety representation in one of the stories. Now it wasn't, I want to say Unbroken had more of like featuring other marginalized groups within that collection other than its own theme. But yeah, overall I really enjoyed this collection. Yeah, I liked it a lot, other than those few pieces that I didn't like. But I mean, that just happens. Oh, most of the stories in this I would classify as like contemporary fiction or sort of romance. But there are a couple of stories that have different genres. There's one that is sort of more non-fiction information advice. And there is one that is definitely fantasy. At least I would call it fantasy. So there wasn't as much of a variety of genres in this as there was in Unbroken. But I was expecting most of these to be contemporary fiction stories or contemporary romance. So that was fine with me. I will say almost all of these I think were written in first person. I also liked, I forgot to mention this, but I also liked that there is some non-binary representation in this. I want to say there are a couple of stories that feature non-binary characters or side characters that are non-binary. But that one story in particular has a main character who's non-binary, and I like that as well. I read this book pretty quickly actually. I read most of it yesterday, and then a little bit today and a little bit on the first evening that I started it. So I thought that was, yeah, it reads pretty quickly I guess. Also because of the poems. There's one story, and that is written in a kind of unique way. I'll show you the first page. So each of these text bits is a different person in their choir, a queer choir. And so you've, based on where the text is on the page, you know which kind of person is which person is thinking, if that makes sense. And I thought that was a really unique way of writing a story. Yeah, actually, I didn't just have one favourite story. There is one that, like, comes closest in my mind in terms of that's the one I keep thinking of. But there were, like, maybe 3 or 4 that I just really, really liked. So, in short, I really like this. And I think if you like young adult short story collections that have a theme with LGBTQ+, then maybe you'll enjoy this short story collection. I think it's important that we have a short story collection like this. So yeah, in short, I really like this. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!